This is day 20 of the 30-day reading challenge, and today's book is Norse Mythology, written by Neil Gaiman. My copy of the book is 281 pages, and it took me about 3 hours to read. The book is a retelling of popular myths and tales from the Norse, which came from the North Germanic people. The book contains stories centralizing around 3 key players: Odin, Thor, and Loki, which you may be familiar with if you've seen any Marvel movies or any comic books. This book shows the origins of those stories, and although there are plenty of similarities, there are also a few stark contrasts. For example, in Norse mythology, Loki is not the adopted son of Odin, rather he is Odin's brother by blood. There are also a few differences in Thor's appearance. However, the stories and tales are extremely interesting and fascinating nonetheless, and I'm sure that if you enjoyed the comics or movies, you'll love this book. As well, if you like fables, folktales, Greek mythology, or traditional stories, this is the book for you. It's written in a simple, easy to understand format, much like modern chapter books, and each tale is not too long, so you can read the book in 10 to 15 minute chunks if you'd wish. The words are all simple, no ancient jargon. The book also contains a helpful glossary at the end, with a list of names to refer to. The most interesting story in the book, in my opinion, for me, was the children of Loki. I had no idea that Loki had children, much less those that would eventually cause the fall of gods and doomsday. Here's a very compact version of the story, please pardon any mispronunciations. Although Loki had 2 children with his wife, he had 3 unofficial children with a giant named Angerboda. When Odin foresees that these 3 children will cause the fall of gods, he sends people to get them. These 3 children are by no means ordinary children. One was a massive serpent, named by folk Jormungandr the Midgard serpent. The second was an ever-growing wolf called Fenrir, who is strong enough to break almost any type of bond. The final child was a girl who is most peculiar. Half of her was beautiful and the other half was a rotten corpse. Her name was Hel, and Odin put her in charge of the place where the dead went, since that was what she liked. Through this book, I learned that gods were not perfect. In fact, there were plenty of times when they were just as unethical and disgraceful as ogres and giants, cheating on oaths in sneaky ways and killing innocents. This was unethical, at least in our human terms. I also realized that although gods are powerful, most are by no means wise, and that nobody can be perfect in all ways. As I mentioned before, whether you're into fables, stories, or myths, or if you just want to learn the backstory of Thor and Loki, this is one of the best books there are. Neil Gaiman retells the stories in such a modern and simple way, anyone will find this book interesting, and it's encouraged that you continue to spread the stories to others in an easier, more personal, and more fashionable way. So that's my book for today. If you have any suggestions or comments, let me know. If you've read the book, which story did you like the best, or the worst? Honestly, Ragnarok was so sad for me, and it was kind of sad that Loki turned evil after all. Then again, it wasn't too surprising. Anyways, if you have any other thoughts, please share them. Thank you all for listening and enjoy the book.